and one for the intelligent as fellas get. Listen, let's settle this. Be clear, I could fall back 7 years, still it ain't no one ahead of me. Consider it a blessing if you get to stand next to me. 5-star general, OG veteran, cake like.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. So we get another Ask Bios3 right now, and this one's, fuck. I don't know how old these kids are, but they sound pretty immature. So this one's from February, too. There's a kid that goes to my gym. I speak to him inside and out. So I guess they're friends. Have a lot of mutual friends. Try to avoid him a little because he's a bad influence. So right off the bat, you know this kid's fucked up. He goes to the gym for over a year, and he was one of the biggest in his age. He encouraged him to join the gym, do some training, etc. In his first week of the gym, he tells him that he's on steroids. He took it without knowing what it was for a whole month. I said, I don't know what they are. It's just steroids. I told him I need to figure out what the dosage, side effects, etc. And he's been at the gym for 6 months now. He's been taking it every day for 40 milligrams. He's been taking D-ball. 40 milligrams. Says he plans to take it until the end of the year without a break. He also does cocaine and drinks while on D-ball. And even has a natty with no knowledge of roids. That's some stupid shit that he can get across to him. My background with drugs. How can I get to this friend? Well, first of all, you can't, okay? No matter what you say, they're not going to fucking listen. He has to learn his own lessons. 40 milligrams a day drinking with cocaine, depending on how old he is, he may not see any effects from it. He may not see fucking anything bad from it. Do I think it's crazy? At 40 years old, I think it's fucking insane. But at 20 years old, I probably would have done that same shit. And you know, I take that back. As soon as I started taking steroids, like as soon as I did, I stopped drinking. I wasn't drinking fucking alcohol at all anymore. And I would only drink when I was off steroids. Like, I was very aware that the oral steroids fuck with your liver, and combining with alcohol could really fuck you up. So I was like on this dead set notion that I'm not going to fucking drink while I'm taking an oral steroids. Now, there was a whole period of time for years that I went without even taking any oral steroids because I was like, I'll be fine if I just take the injectables. I don't need to take the fucking orals, and I'll look, you know, just as good. Well, that turned out to not be true, so I went back on the orals, but it was always a cycle of them. Like, you go 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off, 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off, whatever the case may be. And, you know, my liver values changed on them. Even at a young age, liver values went up. Fatty liver, quote unquote. Shit like that. But as far as this kid, there's nothing you can do, man. Let him do his fucking thing. I mean, I know he's your friend, but here's the deal. Each one of us in this world is responsible for our own actions. We're responsible for ourselves. Now, you can tell him a few times, say, look, man, this is not a good idea. Okay, fuck it. You're done. That's it. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants. I remember, maybe 1999, 1993, 94, something like that. I was still training at Gold's Gym, and my buddy was naturally dark-skinned, but he wanted to be even darker. So he was taking fucking, he was going to the tanning bed, like, every day. And back in the 90s, like, there was a big scare about these tanning beds causing skin cancer. Now, this kid was, like, 16. I think I was 17. And I kept telling him, like, dude, you're going to get fucking skin cancer. I honestly thought you go in a tanning bed once and get skin cancer. That's what they made it seem like. I mean, it was this big push for how bad these things were. And I kept telling him over and over again, I'm like, you're going to fucking die. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. He's like, okay, fuck you, whatever. But after I told him a few times, hey, it's on him at that point. You know, he started taking fucking steroids at a younger age than I did. And, you know, I told him, I said, I don't think this is a good idea. You know, I'm going to take 3 Anadrol. I think that's a fucking bad idea. He took him, and you know what? Nothing happened to him. But the bottom line was I thought something could, but, you know, I couldn't change his mind. There's nothing I could do. So I said my piece, and I backed off, and if something happened, you know, that's it. There were other friends that I had that, you know, I didn't have to tell them it was a bad idea. You know, I had friends that were doing heroin. I had friends that were doing cocaine. I didn't have to tell them, fucking, look, this is a bad idea. You could fucking hurt yourself. You know, they already knew. Like, this kid already knows. He's doing cocaine. He's fucking drinking. He's doing D-ball. He knows what this could do to him. There's no fucking point of you telling him. Now, if you're really his friend, let him do his fucking thing, and, you know, you worry about you. If you don't want to take fucking drugs and you want to be fine, that's fine. If he wants to do it, let him do whatever the fuck he wants. It's his free will to do whatever the fuck he wants. He fucks himself when he's in the hospital. Don't go to the hospital if you don't want to see it. If you're mad at him and say you fucked yourself up, don't go. You know, if you're like, oh, fuck, you know, it doesn't really matter now. I had a friend that fucking, we had it out. We had a falling out. He tried to kill himself. And when I found out that he tried to kill himself, all that other shit didn't matter. I started to feel sorrow. I felt bad. You know, at that point, I got back in contact with him and started talking to him again because, you know, like, at that point, nothing matters. So maybe something like that will happen. You know, like he'll get sick and you'll be in the hospital and you'll go see him and, you know, everything will fade away and you guys will be all right and he'll decide not to do them. Who the fuck knows what the future holds? But the more you push him not to do them, the more he's probably going to do them. I mean, that was my fucking personality when I was younger. And actually, it's kind of like that now, too. If you tell me not to do something, like, if you're, Jerry, you can't come out with a supplement, guess what? I'll have a supplement in 2 weeks. You know, that's just how I am. I'm going to prove people wrong. But at this point, you can't get through to him. Just let him do his thing and hope that he's okay. BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostrengthtraining.com is the blog. I would never take D-ball and drink bicep, and we're out.